Good morning, students. In the previous class we discussed private visibility mode and what is the role of mode of visibility. In today's class let us discuss public mode and protected mode of inheritance. See, when you come to the point mode of inheritance, you have to analyze what are the concepts, what are the things you are going to inherit from the base class to derived class, what are the data members and what are the member functions are going to inherit. See, base class private members cannot be inherited, whether it is public mode of inheritance, private mode of inheritance or protected mode of inheritance. Whatever the mode of inheritance, base class private members cannot be inherited. Then what are the things going to be inherited? Public and protected members of base class are inherited. After inheritance, these two members, public members and protected members of base class, goes to which section? Either private section or public section or protected section of the derived class. Okay, so that is depends on visibility mode. If mode of inheritance is private, base class public and protected members goes to private section or they become private members of a derived class. If mode of inheritance is protected, base class protected members and public members are inherited to protected section of the derived class or they have become protected members of derived class. Are you understanding? So one thing you should clear with this, base class private members cannot be inherited, protected and public members are inherited. So these public and protected members goes to which section of the derived class? That is depends on visibility mode. Okay, if it is a public mode of inheritance, then they will goes to respective section. Base class protected members goes to derived class protected section and base class public members goes to derived class public section. Or in other words, what you can say, base class public members are become public members of the derived class, base class protected members have become protected members of the derived class. Okay, so in the last class we discussed private mode of inheritance. Let us start with the protected mode of inheritance. Ash include iostream.h, ash include conio.h, class, demo. Now I'll take private members and public members here. Int x in the public section, or you can take int register number. In the public section, I'll take a member function to get the value from the keyboard. See, reg, register number, is in private section, so it is a private member of the base class. You all know private members cannot be inherited. Then who can access private data? That class member function has to access private data. So I'll write member function, void scan cout, enter register number. Say in extraction reg no. Okay, now flat bracket close, and I want to display void disp cout reg no, register number is reg no, close, flat bracket close, semicolon. Okay, see here, there is a class called demo, so it is a base class. I am going to derive another class sub colon. So here protected mode of inheritance, no? Sub protected This is the mode of inheritance, protected mode of inheritance, visibility mode. And base class name is demo here. You all know the syntax to derive a class from the existing class. Class, derived class name, colon, visibility mode, and base class name. Now, I'll take protected colon. So in the derived class, in the protected section, I'll take a member char name, now in the public section, a class private and protected members are accessed through the member function of that class. So name is a protected member of derived class sub. Here reg is a member function, data member. Sorry, name is a data member of a subclass. It is a protected data member. And reg is a data member of class demo, that is base class. In order to access name, we need a function, member function, void input cout, enter name, scene extraction name, flag bracket close. To display name, I'll take another function, void disp cout name colon name. Okay. Now, to which class we have to create object? To the derived class. Which is the derived class here? Sub is the derived class. See here, S is an object of which class? Subclass. Which kind of inheritance it is? Which mode of inheritance? Protected mode of inheritance. So base class protected and public members are inherited to protected section of the derived class. What are the private, what are the protected members? No protected members in the base class. Okay. So what are there? Private and public members are there. This private member cannot be inherited to derived class. So what is there in the private section? REGNO. So this private member has to access through the member function scan. So in derived class, the protected section it contains scan, disp and char name of 20. So this is the data member of this class, its own class. Char name is a data member of subclass, derived class. And what are the things are going to be inherited to derived class? Scan and display. Only scan function and display function will be inherited to derived class, because it is a private data. REGNO, register number, is a private data, and these two are public members. So these public members are inherited to protected section of the derived class as per the rule. So later I'll write the rule. Okay, protected members are inherited to derived class, and public members also. So if mode of inheritance is protected, it is protected mode of inheritance. Both public and protected members of base class are inherited to protected section of the derived class. In this example, I did not take any protected data member. Public member and private members are there. As you know, private members are not inherited. Only public and protected members. But in this particular example, only public members are there in the base class. What are the public members? Two member functions are there. See, members are nothing but data members and member functions. So what are the member functions here? Scan and display. These two member functions are inherited to derived class, and they are goes to protected section of the derived class. What is there in the protected section right now in the derived class? One data member is there. So along with the data member, there are two member functions are there because they have inherited from this class to that class. So what is the conclusion here? In the protected section of a derived class, there is one data member and two member functions. Name is a data member and scan, display are the member functions. They have come to protected section of the derived class. Now you have to concentrate on derived class. You leave the base class. Already these two member functions are inherited to this class and they are in the protected section. Now let us concentrate on subclass. This is the derived class. Execute this function, scan function. Right now where is scan function? Scan function is inherited to protected section. I want to access scan function. How to call scan function? Scan is a member function of demo. I did not create object for demo class. To which class I have created object? To the subclass. Through the object of subclass, I have to access scan function. How to access scan function? See, main is not a member function. Main is a non-member function. A non-member function can access only public data of the class. S is an object of subclass. So, S can access public member of the subclass. What are the public members of subclass? Input and disp. Okay. So, S can access input function. S dot input. Okay, and S dot disp. Here I'll change the function name, this one, to avoid confusion, that is, otherwise it becomes overriding. S dot disp 1. Okay, now S dot input, when you call that function, input function, with the help of S object, this function will be executed. Then how to access scan function? Now a public member function of a derived class can access protected data of that class. Right now scan and display, disp functions are there in the protected section. So there is no mandatory, we must take only data member, only data member in the protected section or private section. Sometimes we may take member functions also. Understood? Usually to provide data security, we will declare data or variables, attributes are in private section or in protected section. We did not take functions in the private section so far. Okay, we had taken functions in the public section. But sometimes we can take functions in the private section also or protected section. In this inheritance, that protected section having two member functions, scan and disp. Then how to access? We can access scan function from input function. Input is a member function of this class, subclass. Scan is a member of this class, that is in a private section. So private data of the subclass is name and private member function of a subclass is scan and disp. So that scan function is there here, private in the protected section. So I can access a scan function from this function. So how to write this? I can write like this: void input, open close, open flower bracket. Okay, scan function. I should not use any object and dot operator. Scan, open close parenthesis. A member function can access its data or its another member function without using object and dot operator. You have already learned this rule in a class and objects chapter, rules for writing member functions outside the class, isn't it? There one member function can access another member function of that class without using object and dot operator. Here scan is input is a member function of subclass. Scan is also another member function of that subclass, but scan is in protected section. In order to access scan, a member function, input function has to access that. To access that, I have written scan function inside the input function. So when you call this function s dot input, so control, it executes this function. As soon as enter this function, there is another function, scan function. This function will be invoked, isn't it? Because it has inherited to protected section of the derived class. What you have to assume, these two functions are there in the protected section. A public member can access a protected data. Then after that, after the execution of this, enter register number, then user will enter a value. After that, next statement, enter name will be entered here. Then next statement is yes.display. Here also, I want to display register number first, later I want to display name. So disp function has to execute first. Disp is also in protected section of the derived class. A protected member can be accessed through the member function of that class. So through this function, I'll access a protected member, disp. I can write like this, disp open close semicolon. So when you call disp1 function, soon after entering that function, disp function will be executed. After that, this will be displayed and cursor comes to main function. So what you need to observe in this program, a protected mode of inheritance. So this is the mode of inheritance. You should not write underline. To highlight, I gave the underline here. See, first you need to remember the rule. Private members are not inherited. If mode of inheritance is protected, public and protected members of the base class are inherited to protected section of the derived class. In this particular example, I have taken private data and public data. A private data cannot be inherited. Public data goes to protected section of the derived class. Okay. To access a protected member, we must take a member function in the class. That function can access protected data. I hope you understood this program. Let us write the rules now. I'll write rules here. What are the rules? See here. First thing, private members cannot be inherited. Private members of the base class cannot be inherited. Second, public and protected members of base class are inherited to protected section of the derived class. Public and protected members of base class are inherited to protected section of the derived class. Protected section of derived class. Or in other words, what you can write, public and protected members of base class are become protected members of the derived class. Clear? So this is about protected mode of inheritance. I'll consider another example. There I'll take a public and protected all access specifiers. Okay. Class, date, I'll consider three access specifiers here. Private, okay, int day, public, int month, and protected month and year. See here, day is a private member of a base class, month is a protected member, and Y is a public member. So you all know private members cannot be inherited. I want to access private data. Then how to access private data? Through the member function of this class. So I should take a member function here. Void scan cout enter day cin extraction t. Now next thing, month and Y, protected members and public members are inherited to derived class. After inheritance, they will go to protected section of the derived class. Here I will write display cout day next class close. I'll take class sub. Sub is a derived class of this class date colon. Visibility mode is protected. Base class name is date. The open flower bracket. So private members cannot be inherited. Public and protected members are inherited to derived class. What are the public members? Y, int Y and scan. These two are the public members. Int M is a protected member. So these two members are comes to protected section of the derived class. I'll take protected. To this class, I'll not take any data member here. So these members are inherited to protected section and public section. So the public members, in order to access protected data of a class, we need a member function. So I'll take that member function in a public section. Void, I'll take input, void input, open flat bracket. So I need to access M and N. So these two are in protected section. Cout enter month and year. Cin extraction. Month and year. Now function close. I'll take another function, void show. This function has to display cout month colon M year Y close. Okay. See, the private data D is accessed through the member function scan. Protected members M, Y and scan function. These three are the members which are going to be inherited to the derived class. They are coming to protected section. Now how to access protected members? Through the member function of this class, subclass. Input is a member function. Okay, it accesses these two data, protected and public data, because already they have come in protected section. So as per the rule, I'm saying, repeating again, so that you can understand what is going on here. The protected data is accessed through the member function, this input function. After that, show function is there. Show function, it display the contents. Let us execute one by one from the main function, void main. Let us call those functions. To which class we should create object? To the subclass, derived class, sub, yes. Which function I should call first? Scan function. Through the object of derived class, we cannot call this function directly. Okay, this function has inherited to this class and it has become the protected member of a derived class. So what you have to understand, this scan function is there in the protected section. So it has become protected member of the derived class. Then a protected member of a class can be accessed through the member function of that class. Input and show are the member functions of this subclass. So these two functions have the rights to access the protected data. Now what is there in the protected section? Scan function, the whole function is there in the protected section. I can call scan function here, scan, open close, semicolon. When we call this function s dot input, okay, this input function will execute. Soon after entering this function, there is another function call. So this is a member of this class, that is protected member of this class. This protected member is accessed through the public member function. So scan function will execute. So these things, what are the instructions we have written inside the function will be executed. After that, these two instructions will be executed. Now I want to display show function, or we can take, so we won't get a formatted output if we display here. So I'll take one more function in this class, void print. I'll take print function, open flat bracket, cout day. I'll display like this, day. First I execute read functions. What are the functions which are meant for get the data? Later I'll display the function, display the data. Okay. After input function, I have to call print function. So print function belongs to protected section of this class. How to access a protected member? Through this public member function, print. So s dot show, close. Why we have called these two functions in this functions? These scan function and print function are the protected members of the derived class. A protected member can be accessed through the member function of that class. So that I have written these two function calls inside the function, this member function definition. Concept, public mode of inheritance. So in public, first, no, private members cannot be inherited to derived class. So what are the things you are going to inherit from the base class? Only public and protected members. So these two members are inherited to derived class. So in public mode of inheritance, these two members have become respective sections, that is public members have become public members of a derived class, protected members have become protected members of the derived class. So those two sections will go to respective sections of the derived class. Let us understand this through the example. Class book in protected section, I'll take book ID int public take function. I'll take two data members here. Char title okay. I'll take these two functions here, these two data members. You know that public mode of inheritance, protected and public sections are goes to respective sections. Okay, let us take a derived class. Class sub colon in the public visibility mode. These two members have become respective section, respective members of the derived class. Protected and public here. So the protected members here, I am not taking any member for this class. So these two members or these two data members are inherited to derived class. In BID goes to which section? Protected section, and title comes to public section. Now I want to access BID and title. How to access? You all know BID is inherited to protected section of the derived class. So now what you understood, protected section contains a BID and public section contains title. To access a private protected data, we must take a member function in the class. I'll take member function here. Void input cout, enter book ID and title, sorry, book ID. I want to access book ID here. Cin extraction book ID. Close. Next. I'll close class here. Let us void main. Which function, which data you want to access first? BID, book ID I want to access. To read book ID, value for book ID, we have to call this function input function, because book ID has become a protected member of a derived class. To access a protected data, I have taken member function in this class. So input function can access the protected data. This function, I have to call this function. To which class we should create object? Class yes dot input. How to access member function? Object and dot operator. See, when the word members of a class comes, what are the things you need to remember? Members and functions. So far, we had taken data members in the private section or protected section. Member functions usually we had taken in the public section. Section, you cannot access those members directly from the outside the class. Be there in the public section in order to access protected data of the class. That's why member functions in a public section. Suppose you take data member in a public section, you can access the data directly outside the class, that is from main function or from any other non-member function. How to access a member function, or sorry, how to access a member, whether it is a data member or member function outside the class, object using object and dot operator. Why I am telling all these things here? In this example, title, it belongs to public section. After inheritance, the two in a public mode of inheritance, the title has become public member of the derived class. So right now, what you need to imagine here, protected section, protected, in the protected section what is there, BID is there. To access this protected member I have taken input function, that's over. Title is there, title goes to which section, public section. Right now title is in the public section, either you can access title from the member function or from main function. I can access title from main function. See out, enter title. See in extraction, how to access data member. Now this data member is there in the public section of the derived class, so I can access directly from the main function using object name and dot operator. Yes dot title. Understood? Now I want to display, so title, or you can show this public member can be accessed through the member function and also non-member function. I'll take one function here, display function. Disp, see out, book ID is BID, see out, title, title, function close, class close. See, from this what you can understand, the title become a public member of a derived class. So this title can be accessed either through member function or non-member function. So here I have get value, I read the value for this yes dot title through the non-member function, and through the member function we display the value of title. Why I am taking different programs to show the same access specifier. So which section data goes to which section and how to access those data, you need to observe here. Whether it is, if private data is there, it cannot be inherited, then how to access private data in this mode of inheritance. If protected data is there, if the mode of inheritance is public, where those members will go and how to access protected members. Public members, how to access public members. The overall concept of this access specifier is, what is the access this visibility mode is, what is the visibility mode we used, and the base class different access specifier members are goes to which section, then how to access those members. That is the main point in this in this visibility mode concept. ಸೊ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮೋಡ್ ಆರ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಅರ್ಥ ಮಾಡ್ಕೋಬೇಕು, ಯಾವ ಮೋಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಮೋಡ್ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಮೋಡ, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮೋಡ, ಇದು ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮೋಡ್. ಇದು ಇಷ್ಟು ಬರೆದ್ರೆ ಏನರ್ಥ, ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ ಸಬ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬುಕ್ ಅನ್ನೋ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್ನ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಸಮ್ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ಕಮ್ಸ್ ಟು ದಿಸ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಎಲ್ಲ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಬರುತ್ತಾ, ಇಲ್ಲ, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಮತ್ತು ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇರೋ ಪ್ರಾಪರ್ಟೀಸ್ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಬರೋದು, ಪ್ರೈವೇಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಬರಲ್ಲ. ದೋ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟ್ ಮೆಂಬರ್, ಇಟ್ ಕೆನಾಟ್ ಬಿ ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟೆಡ್ ಟು ಡಿರೈವ್ಡ್ ಕ್ಲಾಸ್. ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಪ್ರೈವೇಟಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದನ್ನು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗಬೇಕು ನಿಮಗೆ. ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದೆ, ಇನ್ಹೆರಿಟ್ ಆದಮೇಲೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆನ್ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮೋಡ್. ಸೊ ಈ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲಲ್ಲಿ ಪಬ್ಲಿಕ್ ಇದೆ ವಿಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಮೋಡ್, ಹಾಗಾದರೆ ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡಲ್ಲಿ ಇರೋದು ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ, ಪ್ರೊಟೆಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಸೆಕ್ಷನಿಗೆ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಇಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ BID, ಮತ್ತು ನೀವು ಬರಿಬಾರ್ದು ಅಲ್ಲಿ, ಅದು ಬಂದಿರುತ್ತೆ. Then title is in public section, public members goes to public section. First you need to know the rules ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಇದು access ನಿಮಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದು, ಯಾವುದು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬರುತ್ತೆ, ಯಾವ ಮೋಡಲ್ಲಿ ಯಾವುದ್ಯಾವುದೆಲ್ಲ ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ ಅದು ಗೊತ್ತಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾವ ಥರ ಆಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗುತ್ತೆ. I hope you understood this visibility modes. So let us write the rules of public access specifier. Public visibility mode. Don't get confused with access specifiers and mode. Okay. Private members in public mode of inheritance. In public mode of inheritance, private members of base class cannot be inherited. Second, public members of base class have become public members of the derived class. Public members of the derived class. Then protected members of base class have become protected members of a derived class. Protected members of derived class. Understood? For 5 marks, if they ask a particular mode of inheritance, if public mode, first you need to write the rules and example. Now, types of inheritance. See, what are the types of inheritance? There are 5 types: single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, multiple inheritance, hierarchical inheritance, and hybrid inheritance. See, types means what are the possible ways we can inherit a class. So there are different ways. So from one class we can derive another class. In some inheritance we have only one base class and one derived class. Suppose to derive another class from the derived class. For example, if there is a class A, so from that class you have inherited another class B. So sometimes it is necessary to inherit another class from B. So this is one kind of inheritance. If you want to inherit 2 classes from the base class, from common base class, if class A is there and B and C are the derived classes of class A. In some problem statement, for some problem solution, we need to inherit in this pattern. So there is one base class and 2 derived classes, or some more than 2 classes we can inherit from the base class. This is one kind of inheritance. Or a class which has to inherit from two classes, two or more classes. For example, a class date is there, class time is there, another class I want to take one more class. From that class I have to access both date and time, so that we can inherit, instead of writing from the scratch in that class, I can inherit the properties of class date and class time. So this is one kind of inheritance, that is class date and class time, two base classes and one derived class. So this is other type of inheritance. Okay, and sometimes we may undergo different inheritances in the single program. For example, class A, class B, class C, they are class B has to inherit the properties of class A, and class C, it inherits the properties of class B, so that indirectly it can inherit the properties of class A. And again, one more class I'll take, class D and class C. From these two classes, class D is a separate class, and I want to inherit another class, class E, that is a subclass of class D and class C. Okay, in this way, so we can embed different type of inheritance under the single program. This has become hybrid inheritance, that is in which a multi or different kind of inheritance are involved in the inheritance. Then it becomes a hybrid inheritance. Okay, so depends upon the problem statement to provide a solution, or to avoid more usage of memory location, more execution time. Okay, we can make use of the existing code in a different way. That's why in C++ they have provided 5 types of inheritance. So using any of these inheritance, we can achieve this reusability concept. We can avoid a multiple usage, and we can avoid much programming code. Okay, so these are the advantages of these types of inheritance. Let us discuss first single level inheritance. Single level inheritance. As I told before, if a program having only one base class and one derived class, that is inheritance, no inheritance concept. Derived class is there means it is inheritance. That class inherits the properties of base class. If program having only one base class and one derived class, then such inheritance we call it as single level inheritance. If an inheritance having only one base class and one derived class, then it is called single level inheritance. So what would be the pictorial representation? One base class and one derived class. We can write like this. Assume this is a base class and this is derived class. Base class properties are inherited to derived class. This arrow mark, if you write arrow mark like this, you have to write the explanation. Base class properties are inherited to derived class. Or if you put arrow mark upward direction, so the derived class inherits the properties of base class. According to the arrow mark, you need to write the explanation. So this is base class and this is derived class. Understood? Then what is the syntax here? For this single level inheritance, I'll give general statement. For other inheritances, I'll take class A, B, C like that, because in your textbook also they have taken like that. You can write that. For this I'll write general statement. Class, base class name, open flare bracket. So some properties are there in the class, okay. And class, derived class name, colon, it must be colon, visibility mode, base class name, open flare bracket, some properties and close semicolon. So this is single level inheritance, and it would be the general syntax for inheritance also. Let us understand the program for this inheritance. You'll get one question from this concept, types of inheritance. Sometimes they may ask you explain any two types of inheritance or explain all inheritances. Then what you need to write? Definition, pictorial representation and syntax for all types. See, I'll take a class student as a base class and marks as a subclass. Header files, #include IvoStream, #include Conio, class student. Better you can take protected members or public members. Here I'll take protected data. Protected int student ID char student name public colon void input cout enter student ID and student name, cin extraction, yes ID, yes name, after that I'll close the class and I'll take a derived class marks colon. To demonstrate type of inheritance, I'll take public visibility mode. Public, what is the base class name? Student, open flare bracket. Here I'll take members, I'll take protected members here. Int marks 1, marks 2, 2 subject marks, and total. Public, void scan cout, enter 2 subject marks, cin extraction yum1 extraction yum2. Okay, Now I'll calculate total here itself. Total is equal to m1 plus m2. Now I'll display Cout. Sorry, I must take function void show insertion I'll display like this. SID, SName, then Cout, marks 1, m1, or we can display as a tabular format here. Sorry, I'll write in a tabular format so that you can easily understand that. Cout, student ID \t, student name \t, marks 1 \t, marks 2 \t, and total \n. Under that Cout insertion SID stored in SID itself, SID \t. To display result, we must use identifier name, so it should not include in the double quotes. \t must be in double quotes. After that SName, then \t. After that marks 1 m1 \t. Cout insertion, then marks 2 \t, then total is in T. Then void main, so we have to create object for derived class, that is marks. I'll take object name is m. First I want to call this function input function. So input belongs to base class. So after inheritance, this input function has become public member of a derived class because mode of inheritance is public. So now let us first we shall understand what is there in the protected section of a derived class and public section of the derived class. What is there in the protected section of the derived class? m1, m2 and t. They are that class member function, that class data member. They belongs to its own data member, subclass data member. Then what are the things inherited to protected section? SID and SName. SID and SName are inherited to protected section. It's also there in the base class and also there in the derived class. You can access SID and SName either from base class member functions or from derived class member functions. So I have taken a function, input function, to access a protected member of base class. So what are the things are inherited from base class to derived class? Protected members, SID and SName. These two comes to protected section of the derived class. So these members can be accessed either through the member function of base class or through the member functions of derived class. So here I have taken a member function, input function. This function accesses a protected data of this class. So I want to call input function first. Through which object? Through the derived object marks. So where is there, is it possible to access input function from the derived class object? Yes, because public members are inherited to public section of the derived class because visibility mode is public. So these members comes to public section. Now the public section of the derived class having two member functions. One is input function, three. One is input function, scan function and show function. Scan and show are their own class functions, belongs to that particular class, and input function is an inherited member that is inherited from base class to derived class. So total 3 functions are there in the public section of the derived class marks. So I can access input function from m dot input. Now after this function I want to call scan function. Scan is also a public member of the derived class. M dot scan. Next show function m dot show. Get ch. Understood? So this is single level inheritance. In this inheritance we have only one base class and one derived class. So another program is there, that is a lab program for you. It's almost similar to this. The only thing, they have taken 2 separate functions in the base class and 2 functions in the derived class. To access the private data of that class they have taken 2 members, and to display or to access derived class members they have taken 2 separate functions. I'll modify this program. The program is like this. Write a C++ program to read and display the student informations. The program must contain one base class and one derived class. The base class must be student. It contains 2 data members, that is SID and SNAME. And derived class is a marks which is derived from the base class student. And it has to contain 2 subject marks, and from that class we have to calculate total. Okay. In the problem statement itself they have given, we must take 2 functions in the base class to access the data of that base class, and 2 functions in the derived class to access data of derived class. So almost similar to this program, just I'll modify this program. Void, instead of displaying base class data and derived class data from the common function show, I will take 2 functions. One is in base class and then the one is derived class. Void disp cout insertion SID SNAME As per the problem statement, I have taken 2 functions, 2 member functions in the base class to access these 2 data members. To read this, I have taken input, to display function. And for the derived class also, in the problem statement they have given two functions we must take in the derived class. To read subject marks I have taken scan function, and to display show function is there. Then we have to create object for derived class, which is a derived class here. Marks is the derived class. To that class I have to create object. You know that how to create object, class name and object name. So when we create object, there is a memory allocation for derived class and also base class. Now I have to call input function. Input is a member function of student. How to call? Using that object. Yum is an object of derived class. Through the derived class object, I am accessing base class member, so it executes properly. So what is conclusion? These members have inherited to derived class. Yum dot input, yum dot scan, yum dot disp, yum dot show. Understood? So this is about single level inheritance. So this is your lab program. Previous one what I had taken, you can write it for theory exam. Okay, or for the exam point of view, I'll show another program. It is very simple program. You can write that also. So these are the typical programs. To make you understand to write easy programs, I'll show some other programs for the exam point of view. If these programs are difficult for you to write in the exam, you can go ahead with this program. It's a very simple program. You can write this program for the exam. Base class having one member function, derived class having a member function. Mode of inheritance is public. So public members have inherited to public section. So the public section of the derived class having two member functions, show and print. Through the object of derived class, we invoke these two functions. Understood?